Today I'm going to show you how you can heal your back and neck from home so that you can decrease your stress, decrease your pain, increase your performance and strength, and have a better quality of life.
Okay, I'ma try it out.
So I'm going to show you today the tools and techniques that I've learned over the past 6 years in soft tissue therapy so that you can fix your neck and back pain permanently from home, saving thousands of dollars that you would have to spend on physical therapy, chiropractic, or massage. You're going to understand more about your body and why it's having pain. This is what I use to fix my chronic neck and back pain, and trust me, I've had a lot of it. I overworked my body and my muscles got trigger points, muscle spasms, tons of scar tissue, tons of inflammation. So the Rumble Roller is the best foam roller that you can use because it has those little knobs, and those knobs act like thumbs that push into the soft tissues, release the trigger points. They also act as a pin and stretch, like you saw me just do. They pin the fascia and the connective tissue down so that when you stretch it, it pulls it and it unhooks it. Kind of like if you pull a shirt from two different directions. Extremely effective technique. So what did I just do? You see me rolling on my back, getting all those muscles, and now I'm rolling on the side. This is an extremely important muscle and region right here. The lateral side of the body. You have your latissimus dorsi, you have your quadratus lumborum, you have your serratus and your obliques. You have to release all of these. What am I doing right there? I'm getting the lat. The lat attaches right at that armpit and it goes all the way down to your thoracolumbar or your lower back. So if you release it right here, this is a very common place where trigger points will happen and pin down that entire sheet of tissue. If it's sensitive there, you have to release this massive back muscle. This is one of your biggest back muscles that will cause lower back pain, mid back pain, decrease your range of motion in your shoulder joint and your back. So definitely spend some time on the side body, rolling up and down. See how I'm getting into the lower back, right on the side between the rib cage and the pelvis. Spend a lot of time there. Check out all these different regions. Take your time. Foam rolling slowly. I'll explain the technique of foam rolling in a second. But basically, you're looking for sensitive areas. When you find sensitive areas, go slow. Spend some time if you find a particular knot, ball, nodule. That's a muscle spasm. That's a trigger point. And trigger points cause widespread, maybe even referred pain. It could be local or it could be somewhere else is causing pain. So be very aware. Really tune into your body and sense where you have the inflammation and sensitivity and spend more time there. Now look at this. Look at how you can massage your own neck by just rolling your neck on the side. And it takes practice to get all the right angles. But spend a lot of time on your foam roller. It's free. You don't have to pay for an expensive massage all the time, guys. There are benefits to a massage because it really relaxes your overall nervous system, but this is great for the soft tissue work that you would need. Athletes, anybody with chronic pain, experiment with that foam roller. Do all those different positions. Now what are we doing? Check this out. We have a lacrosse ball and a big sock. That's the Nike sock. 2 lacrosse balls. What am I doing here? It's very similar to the foam roller. You basically just want to put that on the erector muscle and start rolling it left and right, up and down. You're scanning the entire muscle, looking for sensitivities. And believe me, once you find the sensitivity and you're putting that downward gravity pressure on it, still relaxing, it will be sensitive. It'll tell you. And that means you have to breathe, relax, and not go too deep. Not too deep. But you have to spend more time. And that's how you're going to release those trigger points. And once you release the trigger points, you're going to have pain relief. You're going to have range of motion. And you're going to have better energy. Because that muscle is no longer a blockade. It's not a dam anymore. You basically just let it relax the whole day instead of contract the whole day. What's that going to do? the blood and the lymph is going to flow better. Imagine if you contracted your bicep all day. It's going to burn. It's bulging, it's getting bigger, and it's impeding the flow of those life fluids. It's building toxicity from the lactic acid and all the metabolic byproducts that it's creating. So you have to release it, and this is how you do it. You can do a static hold for 30 seconds to a minute, breathing, 7 out of 10 intensity. Or you can roll over it in one direction, do that 10 to 15 times, slowly, like a pin roller, a steam roller. Steamroll that little marble out of existence from your system, from the muscle. It's really up to you. There's not a wrong way to do it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just think about massaging the muscle with all these tools. I'm just giving you general guidelines. It's up to you to have some fun, get on the ground, and use these tools to massage your own body. You're going to build coordination, and you're going to get better at targeting where the muscles have the sensitivities and the trigger points, and your body will guide you. It's a very natural thing. Don't get too much in your head. Let the instincts of your body guide how you do the massage, and just follow the basic guidelines. Now, so far, we've just been talking about trigger point therapy, which is extremely effective. But as you're doing this too, notice how you're also gliding these massage devices over the entire global tissue. Now, this is where we can talk about soft tissue work like fascial adhesions and scar tissue, which is different from trigger point therapy. It's basically the entire sheet of muscle. It's like, imagine you're wearing a long sleeve shirt and it gets pinned down in one area. Well, basically you just want to take the pin out so that you can move your body. Think about if you're wearing too tight of a button-down shirt. You feel like when you raise your arms, you have limited range of motion. So we're going to fix that. We're going to take away those pins, the adhesions, where the soft tissue is pinned down. And how do you do that? How is this different? You basically want to apply pressure and then do a cross friction massage, which basically just means you're getting friction with pressure applied. So let's say you lie on the foam roller, you find where it's a little bit sensitive, it feels like there's a little bit of pain. What would you do? You would basically start moving your body, start wiggling your body left and right or up and down across the orientation of the muscle. So let's say you're doing your back muscles. Your back muscles go up and down. So how would you cross friction that? You would wiggle left and right. What does that do? That's going to unkink anything that's stuck. Sometimes, most of the time, you'll feel a click. You'll feel a pop. It's going to feel great. So do that as well. You can do that on trigger points. I wouldn't recommend it if you have a very painful trigger point. You don't want to go into the pain cave, as Mr. Starrett would put it. You want to keep it below a 7 out of 10 in intensity when it comes to trigger points, when you find that ball of muscle, that muscle spasm. But in terms of just global irritation, inflammation in the tissues, you can really do a cross friction massage with high levels of intensity because you want to just open up all that scaffolding that doesn't need to be there. So oftentimes I'll go 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 pain doing cross friction massage because my body's telling me, oh my goodness, I really need this. I need this tissue to be released. And after I do it, I have better range of motion, less pain. It takes a day or two to feel perfect, but it's definitely worth it. So let me comment on this Theracane technique. Very similar to what we were doing with the lacrosse ball. You basically just pin that cane underneath your body and you roll your body onto the cane, positioning it in the right manner so that you can get that knob, that sniper rifle knob, in the right position, searching for those nodules, those trigger points, that extra sensitive area. This is your sniper rifle. I would say the foam roller is like a shotgun. It's not too specific. It'll show you where you have the main trigger points. Then you can get the lacrosse ball all the way up and down all those muscles and go back to where it was sensitive. That's more of a direct trigger point therapy. Then, if you feel like it's very deep of a muscle, use the Theracane. That's like your sniper rifle. That's where you can get very deep and very precise and a very therapeutic release on any trigger points that you have. This is for trigger points that I started right at the top of the scapula. That's the very important place, levator scapula, trapezius. Now you see me getting right below my skull, suboccipitals. All this work is going to relieve headaches, relieve shoulder pain, neck pain, increase your strength in the gym with pushing and pulling exercises. It's going to help you sleep better if you have neck pain. Trigger points in the neck will prevent you from being comfortable with any pillow. It's not the pillow, it's you if you have trigger points. And look for those trigger points. It's like you're finding golden nuggets when you find one. Once you find it, you're going to have to work on it. Who knows how long? Maybe a couple days, maybe a couple weeks. It'll be worth it. This is called active release technique, where you pin down the muscle where it has a dysfunction, and then you move the body around so that you're exposing all the different angles of the potentially kinked muscle fascia. You're getting the muscle to contract into the pressure. You hold it for 5 seconds and then you relax. And when you relax, it will relax even more than if you just held constant tension without the muscle contraction. Very effective technique. Always get some motion in there. Move the joint around when you find the muscle that has a sensitivity. Always do this. Very, very effective technique. You'll feel a lot of popping. When you pin that tissue down, you move the joint around, it'll give you a tremendous stretch in the fascia. Extremely effective for getting deeper into the trigger points and finding exactly where you have those little nodules. And you might have a lot of them. You might have 5, 10, 15, and as you release them, you'll be able to get deeper into the next layer. Sometimes it's just 1 or 2, sometimes you have years of accumulated trauma and tons of little pebbles in there that as you release it, you're going to feel that the joint moves without pain. It's going to feel miraculous. I'm talking from my own experience, 3+ years of working way too hard, not doing any self-care, got tons of trigger points in my erectors, my back, my neck, felt like I had disc issues, couldn't sleep, wanted to quit. And it was all trigger points, dozens of them. Took me months working on myself every day. So when it comes to neck pain, I wanted to share this extremely effective technique with you guys. Even if you don't have a tool with you, if you're in the car, sitting at a desk, you have to check out the side of your neck muscles, the scalene muscles, and you can release them just with your fist. It will definitely take some practice to understand exactly how to release them, but if you release these muscles, you can relieve all kinds of strange pain, like headaches, pain in your ears, your eyes, dizziness. Sometimes people with scalene dysfunction have a cough, or a drippy nose, or a droopy eyelid, balance problems, vestibular problems. The scalenes are right above a very important nerve, and it's on the front/side of the neck. So you have to release these. You can even have shoulder pain into your chest, radiating down the arm. Pain in the back of your shoulder blade and scapula. It's coming from muscles in the neck, on the side and the front. We call these the scourge of the body because all kinds of pain happens when these are overloaded, and they get overloaded from head forward and head down positions. So whether you're using the Theracane like this to get into these cable-like muscles that go from the side of the neck down to the first and second ribs, whether you're using the cane or your fingers, check out these muscles. These are neglected, overlooked, and will definitely give you all kinds of pain freedom and strength when the function is restored. So you see me, I was using my fist on the neck itself. Now I'm putting my thumb right into the crevice, the side of the neck, towards the clavicle. If you put your thumb right above the clavicle and start looking towards the neck, middle of the clavicle, towards the neck, you're you're gonna feel string-like, cable-like muscles, like a violin string, going at a diagonal up towards your neck. Find that muscle and follow it with your fingers, putting pressure and following the muscle. Once you find the place that's more sensitive, you'll feel a little ball in there. Hold it, squeeze it. Notice I still have the cups on, I'm still doing this work. Just get a pincer-like crab grip and start working all those muscles. Start checking out your own neck physiology from your neck down to that scapula. Oh, here I'm working the sternocleidomastoid. So, because it'll relieve headaches. This is the #1 cause for headaches. Sternocleidomastoid dysfunction. Will relieve neck pain if you have a stiff neck, if you have an uneven head, like a cocked head or neck to one side, you have to release this muscle. Very powerful, very big strap-like muscle. And finally, after you do all your soft tissue work, you can stretch out. This is extremely important. After you release the muscles, your body's naturally going to want to stretch out. So do some different maneuvers, get the tissues to regain their shortened positions, get the fascia to stretch out, grab your knees, both your knees to your chest, do a spinal twist, experiment, put your arms in different positions, move your neck around. You're going to feel the difference in the stretch when you use these variations. There's no right or wrong way to stretch. Just move your body in different positions. Make sure you go slow. Make sure it's safe. Don't overstretch. Just do what feels good. A dog, a cat, doesn't have to take a stretching class. They just wake up in the morning and stretch because they're in touch with their body. You don't have to necessarily learn from anybody. Just do what your body's comfortable with. If you don't feel comfortable doing what I just did, don't do it. I felt like I wanted to do it because I wanted to stretch my neck like that. And that's a legitimate suboccipital levator scapula trapezius stretch. Is advanced. You don't have to do it like that. But that's one way to stretch out the erectors if knees to chest isn't feeling enough. Right there we got the pretzel, more spinal twisting. Pretzel is an extremely good way to stretch out that entire back fascia. You just put one knee horizontal and then you bring the other leg behind. Twist yourself into a pretzel. I got that from Brett Contreras. Pretzel. Do some spinal extension. Move the neck around. This is great for the discs, great for the psoas, child's pose, great for stretching out the thoracolumbar, the lats. Basically just do everything you know to stretch. Only do this after you release the tissues. If you try to do this with trigger points, your body isn't going to stretch as much because you have that spasm. Same thing with the fascial kinks and adhesions. How is it going to release if it's stapled down? That's why we do the soft tissue work, trigger point work, cross friction work, tissue revitalization, do the cupping, do any of those things, and then stretch. Once you release, then you stretch. Then you can do some strengthening because your body's going to feel rejuvenated, revitalized, and you're going to feel like working out. Anyways, this is the whole routine. A summary is do the soft tissue work, release the trigger points, release the fascia in soft tissue, stretch, and then rejuvenate with some exercise, oxygen, take a shower, get some wind on your body, eat a healthy meal, give your body what it needs to recover, and you're going to be on the glorious path of healing, where you're going to feel like a kid again, you're going to feel energy, you're not going to be so stressed, and you're going to feel like you have a completely different body. You're going to think better, you're going to feel better, you're going to be happier, and that's what you really want. So be blessed, do some of these things, and feel the life that gives you. Take responsibility for your body. It's in your hands. Learn about your body. Know what you can do. It'll give you a sense of empowerment, and you will feel so much more life and confidence when you know you can heal yourself. Be blessed.